Now we're going to learn how to put the wheels and axles on toys. Probably one of the most important steps we have for two reasons. Number one, this is the last chance we got to correct anything that the previous operations did wrong without causing a major problem once we glue the wheels and axles on. So inspection is very important. Make sure the toys are in good shape when you get them. And when they leave, two of the worst things that could happen when a child gets a toy of ours is one, the wheel and axle come off, or two, the wheel is stuck, glued in, and won't turn. Either way, it's a toy the kid will never be able to use, and it could make a Saturday in his life and the happy day it makes when we give him a smile. So very important here. Again, not about production, it's about following procedure. It's a pretty lengthy procedure, and don't change anything we're doing unless you get approval from management, because this is proved to be the best possible way we could do it over the years, and we want to stay with it. So first of all, we take 5 toys. You're going to hear 5 toys a lot. We put them up on the table, and every toy that's on the table always has the brand up, so you can see it. There we go, we got 5 toys, that's what we're going to start with. And now we're going to inspect them. Like, we want to make sure there's no sharp edges, that the window hole is smooth and not torn out, that the holes are drilled properly, and it's not damaged at all. And we want you to inspect all 5 of them before we go any further with anything. The brand is clear, that's just the way we want it. Now this brand can be a little darker one than the other because it's 2 separate brands, but we don't want any of the letters real light, and we don't want it wavy where somebody might have smeared it when they tried to put the brand on. We want it to be very legible, because as one helper once stated, gosh, the kids can't read anyway, what's so important about that? But the donors can. That's why we want this the way it is. And if anybody wants to follow up and get more toys to us, that's the way they do it. So all of these 5, we're going to, and take your time. It's not about production, once again, it's about quality toys for the kids. And these 5 toys look good. Now we're going to proceed to put the wheels and axles on these 5 toys and not have any more toys on the table. Move from left to right, keep them in order. What we're going to do is we're going to take one of the toys and we're going to put it in this position right here in the fixture that we made for it on an angle. We're going to take the glue bottle and just drop a little bit of glue, you can see it, on an angle. Now normally this would be facing me just like this, and it's a lot easier to see, but for demonstrations purposes I'm holding it this way so Matthew can help with the camera and record what we're doing. The wheels and axles right here, you see them, this entire pad filled up with wheels and axles ready to install on the toys. You'll notice that the wheels and the axles are in the wheels, and all the wheels are faced with the hub up. The back side of it is flat, but the hub is up so that when we put them in, they won't be put in backwards. And it's filled up like this. When you leave, when you're done doing wheels and axles, we want this filled up the same way it is right now, so it's all set for the next person that does wheels and axles. So again, we take one, and this is the only time you'll ever have the axles and wheels touched by your hand. We have tools for the rest of the operation that adjust them for, so there you go. And these, some are going loose, some are going hard. This one in kind of easy, so we take the toy and we set it up like this so it's flat. We have a hammer available if it's too snug. These don't appear to be. At the end of this guide here is a hole. It determines how far the axle is going to go in, and yet it keeps it out far enough so that the wheels turn. So we just take this, push down. Once again, you can see the axle sticking out there. You take the wheels and flip them like this. You don't just turn them because they could still be stuck and you can't feel it. So just flip there. Seem to be okay. We're going to put that up here, and we're going to go to the next one. And just a drop inside the hole. The reason we're on an angle like this is because it'll lay on the side of the hole. If you put the glue in straight down with a toy like this, it could drop all the way through and we'll never get any glue on the axle. So once again, we start these in. That's a little snug. That's good. We just start them in. Like that. Then we put them up. And these are snug, I can feel them, so we're going to use this little hammer. Now when I get to the bottom, you're going to notice a distinct sound. Until you hear that sound, you keep hammering the axle in. But don't hammer hard, because you could end up breaking the wheel. Just tap it. Hear that? That's what the sound you're looking for. Same way again, just tap the sound again. You can see that the axle is still out, and we flip it, and the wheels turn. Now again, you might wonder why I'm showing you all this repetition stuff, because that's what we want you to do. I could show you one and say, well, do the same thing for the next 5 toys. It would probably never happen. So you're going to live with me on this first group, but this is what I want you to do each time you decide to put wheels and axles on a toy. Sound. Sound. Once again, take your time. We're not in production. Wheel spin. Done. That's 3. Now we're going to do I don't know if you can see that, but there's just a little drop on the inside of that hole. That's all we need. We don't need a lot of glue to make these axles stick in there. Titebond donates the glue to us, and they have a great glue and it does a great job. So it's not about putting a lot of it on, it's just about putting a little bit in the right place. Once again. And here's old number 5 we've been looking for. You'll be looking for number 5 a lot over the next few hours if you're assembling the wheels and axles. Once again, that's the only time you ever touch them with your fingers. Everything else, there, you set it up so you're straight down. Take the bit. 5 toys, 1 wheels on each side of 5 toys. That's the first step. Now we're going to do the other side of those 5 toys. I put the blade in the other way. I put a little glue on. Now we could put the axles in now and push, but if we do, these might not be dry yet, and push the axles in and cause the wheels not to turn. So once you get done, when you start on the second side, you put the glue in. You want it on an angle so you can see it's at the bottom. And that's what this fixture is for, the hole there and the slot here for the wheels. Now it sets in. Now when we put the other wheels and axles on, there's no pressure on those wheels and axles to change how they're in the toy. Once again. It up, and again check, make sure all the wheels spinning, keep them in line, don't do one of these and off and all of these, because it never works. You're going to get confused and messed up. So when I come by, or the monitor comes by, we want to see 5 toys in a row just like that, so we can see exactly where you're at. In fact, it even allows us to see, just by looking at it, after you get the experience, we can tell whether you're putting the wheels and axles in the right distance or not. So once again, let's go through these. I don't want you to say, well, they never explained that to me. Oh no, see there? See what just happened? We're gonna stop now while I clean this up. But this is what happens when we put glue in bottles and we don't clean the pin right. Lo and behold, all of a sudden it comes apart. So we're gonna break for a minute and come back, but that's one of the things to watch for when you're filling the glue bottles. Again, like we were just talking, and things like that happen, and don't feel bad, because it's, we all do the best we can, but if they aren't cleaned just properly and glue gets a little bit on the table or something, we just clean it up. You won't be the first one to make a mistake like that, so don't be embarrassed if it does happen. The other thing to look at is the wheels when you pick them up, and make sure they're not cracked or damaged. It's not very often, but sometimes that does happen. We want the wheels to turn freely and also turn freely on the floor. There's that noise again. always the brand up. So. And once again, we've done this enough. Let me show you. Normally you have it facing you like this, and then you can just look right down and see when you got a little drop of glue there. Once again, check the wheel. Okay, I kind of did it intentionally, but it'll happen a lot. These axles are really loose, depending on the. It could be the drill hole size. It could be the axles themselves. Many things happen, but they're really loose. So that one went all the way in. Now you could just pull it out, say, that looks about right, and go on. But if you do that, inevitably you're going to have a problem, and the wheel's not going to turn. So what you want to do, like I say, you only touch it with your hands when you're putting it in. You want to pull that axle way out again, put it back in, and use this insertion tool. There you go. That might not have went all the way in. There we go. There, now it's right again. And we just put that on. One more. I must have an alarm on this to remind me of something, but I forgot what it was. Sure. You may know how to work a phone. I'll have Matthew check me on that later. Once again, put them in here, then set it up before you pound the axles in. And one more. I hope this is getting boring to you, because that's what I want. I hope you learned enough that you don't have to hear it again. But if you do, this is especially in this operation, you come in a couple days from now or a week from now, don't hesitate to look at the video again. You know, review it. And even then, when you come back out, if there's any questions, get with the monitor and find out, you know, the proper procedures, just so you're doing. Because once again, it's not about production, it's about getting a quality toy to the child. Spin, spin, spin. Okay, that's 5 toys we've done. And they're gonna sit there and dry now. We wanna make sure the glue is dried. But we go ahead and pull out 5 more toys. Check them for quality. The brand up. They don't have to be the same toys, because they all get the same wheels and axles. Brands are real nice. Somebody did a good job on that. Okay. Now here, on the edge of it, I don't know if you can see here, but we'll feel it. There's a sharp edge. There's a little chip off the end of it. Not a big thing to us, but to the child, that might be something they could get their fingers stuck on it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to walk over here. Be right back. We've got a paint stick with a piece of sandpaper on it. And what we're going to do is take it and that little bit of sanding took that sharp edge off. Once again, we're going to have a neat little toy for a kid to play with. If there's ever any damage that you question and not know how to fix, again, ask the monitor. Looking real good. Somebody did a great job on these toys. Makes the assembly job a lot easier. Everything's fine. The brand's fine, 5 and 5. And this is where we're at now. We're going to go back with these 5 toys, put 2 wheels and axles on one side of each of the toys, right in order. Like we did before, we're going to go back and do the other side, 2 wheels, 2 axles on one side, until they're completely done. Once that happens, then you're going to take these toys that are up front, you're going to take them, and you're going to try and pull the wheels and axles off real hard. On all 5 of them. As long as the wheels and axles don't come off, you're going to put them in the tub, done, ready to go over and be oiled and sent to some kids for some smiles. take, and when these are all done, these 5 go in the tub. These 5 with wheels and axles on both sides go up here, all in order and everything. You get 5 more and do the same thing over and over and over again. And that's the toy procedure. When you feel like you're getting about ready to quit, make sure that you come back and fill this pad. Sometimes there'll be 2 or 3 pads, depending on how many people are assembling. Fill this up with wheels and axles so it's all set for the next person, and wipe off the table, keep everything orderly, and thanks for helping us make smiles.